Okay, so yesterday we were saying the Nyquist stability criteria. In this, we have seen the formula. That is n is equal to p minus z, where n is equal to, when n is net encirclement of -1 plus j0 point in GH plane. N is positive. We will consider it as positive if it is the encirclement is in anti-clockwise direction. N is considered as negative if the encirclement is in clockwise direction. P is number of open loop poles in right hand side of S plane. So you are having value of n and p. From that you can substitute these values in this formula, n is equal to p minus z, and you can get the values of z. By definition, what is z? Z is total number of closed loop poles in right hand side of S plane. This is by definition total number of closed loop poles. So if z is equal to 0, that means there are no closed loop poles which are lying on the right hand side of S plane. That means the system will be in stable condition. If z is not equal to 0, that means system is unstable, and whatever the value of z, that many number of closed loop poles will lie on the right hand side of S plane. Z cannot be negative. If it is coming negative, then there must be some mistake that you are doing. And one limitation of this Nyquist criteria is that it cannot predict or it cannot detect the marginal stable condition. Is it okay? We have seen till this point. Now we will see one example. Am I audible properly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we have been provided with the open loop transfer function, that GS into HS is 4s plus 1 whole divided by s square s plus 1 2s plus 1. This is the open loop transfer which has been provided. Here we have to do what? Determine the stability via Nyquist criteria. So you have to determine whether the system is stable or unstable by Nyquist criteria, and the open loop transfer function has been provided to us. The first step is to draw the Nyquist plot. First step is to draw the Nyquist plot. And to draw the Nyquist plot, we require Nyquist contour. What is Nyquist contour? It is a closed path which covers all right-hand side open loop poles. It is a closed path which covers all right-hand side open loop poles. Right. So first we will try to draw the Nyquist contour. Now you can see here we are having poles at the origin. Usually the Nyquist contour looks somewhat like this, right? That this is J0 plus, this is J0 infinite. Plus this is J0 minus, this is minus J infinite. And this bigger circle has a radius of R e to the power J theta, that R tends to infinite. But you can see there are some poles at the origin. So if we consider this kind of a Nyquist contour, this will include this pole. So in order to exclude the pole at the origin, the Nyquist contour will have slightly different appearance. We have already considered this appearance. I will again draw the Nyquist contour. This is S-plane. Nyquist contour for this, because there are poles in the origin, so we will exclude the poles by smaller circle, and we will also draw the bigger circle like this. This is the Nyquist contour for the given problem. This frequency is plus J0. This is plus J infinite, minus J0, or J0 minus, you can also write minus J infinite. And it is the frequency is going from 0 to infinite plus to infinite minus, and infinite minus to 0 minus. The radius of the bigger circle is r e to the power j theta. The radius of the smaller circle is small r e to the power j phi. Now, capital R will tends to infinite, and theta, that is orientation, is, you can see this is plus pi by 2 and this is minus pi by 2. The orientation is, it is going from plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. I will write plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Now small r is close to 0. Small r is very less. So we can say that small r tends to 0. And the orientation, that is phi. See where the phi is going from where to where. It is going from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. Is it clear? The Nyquist contour is clear or not? We were having poles at the origin, that is why we have considered this kind of a Nyquist contour. Should we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so here you see the Nyquist contour is having 4 parts. 0 positive frequency, this is first part. Negative frequency, there is a second part. Capital bigger circle, that is, this is third part. And smaller circle, this is the fourth part. So we have to map all these 4 parts in GH plane. What we have to do, we have to map all these parts. So mapping of first part or positive frequency from S plane to GH plane is nothing but polar plot. The mapping of the negative frequency is the mirror image of polar plot. The mapping of the third part is we will get by substituting S is equal to R e to the power j theta, and we will apply limit R tends to infinite. And mapping of fourth part we will get by substituting S is equal to small r e to the power j phi, and we will put limit small r tends to 0. So we will proceed in this way. First we have to draw the polar plot. So how to draw the polar plot? Given an open loop transfer function, that is GS into HS, is provided to you. It is 4s plus 1 whole divided by s square, s plus 1, 2s plus 1. So this is the open loop transfer function. For this, we have to draw the polar plot. So how we will proceed? We will substitute s is equal to j omega. So it will be g j omega, h j omega will be equal to 4 j omega plus 1 whole divided by j omega into j omega plus 1, 2j omega plus 1. For this, we have to take out the magnitude as well as the phase. We have to take out the magnitude and calculate the phase. So magnitude is g. The magnitude of the numerator will be 4 omega whole square plus 1 square under root of the magnitude of omega, j omega will be omega, and magnitude of j omega will be omega. So I can write omega square under root of omega square plus 1 square into under root of 2 omega whole square plus 1 square. This is our equation number 1. Now we have to calculate the phase. This equation number 1 corresponds to the magnitude, and phase, that is angle of g of j omega, h of j omega, is, now for numerator part I will write the phase, that is plus tan inverse of imaginary by real. Imaginary is j 4 omega upon 1. Now for this j omega we will have minus 90 degree. For this j omega we will have minus 90 degree. Plus minus because the term is in denominator, tan inverse of omega by 1 minus tan inverse of 2 omega by 1. So if you simplify this further, so this will become tan inverse of 4 omega minus tan inverse of omega minus tan inverse of 2 omega minus 180 degree. This is our equation number 2. Let me know if anyone is having any doubt in these two equations, because these two equations you have to get it. Is it clear? Equation number 1 and equation number 2, is it clear to all of you? Okay, now what we will do, we will calculate the phase crossover frequency. Why we will calculate the phase crossover frequency? To be sure that at how many point our plot is cutting minus 180 degree line. Phase crossover frequency means our plot should cut minus 180 degree line. And how we will calculate the phase crossover frequency? By substituting the phase to minus 180 degree and replacing omega by omega pc. So I will calculate phase crossover frequency. So minus 180 degree will be equal to tan inverse of 4 omega p minus tan inverse of omega p minus tan inverse of 2 omega p minus 180. Minus 180 will cancel out. And we will be having tan inverse of 4 omega. I will take both of these negative term to the other sides, or it will be positive. So tan inverse of omega p, it is omega p, plus tan inverse of 2 omega p. We have to sum tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b. What is tan inverse of a plus tan inverse of b? The formula is tan inverse of a plus b upon 1 minus ab. So we will do that. Tan inverse of 4 omega p is equal to tan inverse of omega p plus 2 omega p divided by 1 minus 2 omega p square. So tan inverse will cancel out. So we will be having 4 omega p will be equal to omega p, that is 3 omega p upon 1 minus 2 omega p square. So we will be having cross multiply. This is denominator is 1. So we will be having 4 omega p minus 8 omega p square, sorry, cube is equal to 3 omega p. Take this term to the right hand side. So we will be having 8 omega p whole cube minus omega p equal to 0. Take omega p common. So 8 omega p whole square minus 1 is equal to 0. So omega p is equal to 0. This is first phase crossover frequency. And 8 omega p square minus 1 is equal to 0. So 8 omega p square will be equal to 1. Omega p square will be equal to 1 by 2, sorry, 1 by 8. And omega p will be equal to 1 upon under root of 8. 1 upon under root of 8, we can write 1 upon under root of 4 into 2. 4 means 2 square, so it will be 1 upon 2 under root of 2 radian per second. So these are the two phase crossover frequency, that is omega p first is 0 and 1 upon 2 under root of 2 radian per second. At these frequencies, our polar plot will cut minus 180 degree line. Is it okay? Just see. So now what we will do, we will build up the table. So let me take two expressions. So we will be having omega, magnitude of open loop transformation, and phase of open loop transformation. And we will vary omega from 0 to infinite and make sure to include this point, that is 1, 2 under root of 2. So you have to select some points which is less than this, you have to select some point which is less than this, and some point which is more than this. That means you have to select some intermediate point between these 0 and 2 root 2. So what is intermediate point between 0 and 2 root 2? I can consider 1 by 4. And I can also consider 1 by under root of 2. Just to be sure that in which direction our polar plot will move, right? So substitute omega is equal to 0 first. in magnitude. Let me copy this. So substitute omega is equal to 0 in equation number 1. What will you get? Substitute omega is equal to 0 in equation number 1. What will you get? Am I audible?
Infinity.
Infinity, because you can see 1 upon omega square term is there. So if you substitute omega is equal to 0, magnitude we will get as infinity. If you substitute omega is equal to 0 in phase expression, this is expression number 2. So this will be 0 degree, this will be 0, this will be 0. Only term we are having is minus 180 degree. Phase is minus 180 degree at omega is equal to 0. Now substitute omega is equal to 1 by 4. If you substitute omega is equal to 1 by 4 in equation number 1, you have to calculate the magnitude. Just remember. Why I have taken omega is equal to 1 by 4? Because we have to take some point which is between 0 and 2 root 2 to be sure in which direction our plot will move. From minus 180 degree, whether it will go to minus 190 degree, or from minus 180 degree, it will go to minus 170 degree. To be sure, we have taken one point which is in between 0 and 2 root under root of 1 upon 2 root 2. To be sure, right? So if you substitute omega is equal to 1 by 4 in magnitude equation, you can do the calculation later on. I am having the result. Magnitude, let us just say magnitude is x, and phase is important. What is important is phase. If you substitute omega is equal to 1 by 4, the phase you will be getting as, I'm getting phase as minus 175 degree. Phase is minus 175 degree. Again, when you substitute omega is equal to 2 root 2, when you substitute omega is equal to 2 root 2, phase will be, you can substitute omega is equal to 2 root 2 in equation number 2. Phase you will definitely get as minus 180 degree. You can do it later on because we have calculated this phase crossover frequency. So phase at minus 1 upon 2 root 2 is minus 180 degree. And magnitude is 10.6. Magnitude is 10.6 that I have calculated. You can calculate later on by substituting the value of omega. Next is to put omega is equal to 1 upon under root of 2, that is 1 upon under root of 2, and calculate the magnitude. You can calculate the magnitude later on. I will put y, and when you put omega is equal to 1 upon under root 2 in equation number 2, you will get phase. I am having phase as minus 200 degree. If you substitute omega is equal to under root of 2, we will get minus 200 degree. It is getting confusing, so let me just. So at 0, we are having this magnitude. At 1 by 4, we are having this. At 1 by 2 root, we are having this. At 1 by root 2, we are having this. And when you substitute omega is equal to infinity, at equation number 1, if you substitute omega is equal to infinity, you can see 1 upon omega square term is there. So because of this, magnitude will become 0. And if you substitute omega is equal to infinity in equation number 2, you can see if you substitute omega is equal to infinity, so this will correspond to plus 90 degree, this will give you minus 90, this will give you minus 90, and minus 180 degree. So plus 90 minus 90 will cancel out, and what will be the results? That is minus 270 degree. So finally we are having at omega is equal to infinite, our phase is minus 270 degree. So you can build this table. Okay, you can calculate this value of x and y, that is the magnitude at 1 by 4 and 1 by under root of 2. But for now, these values are not required because we will draw the, but for examination point, you have to calculate the value. We will draw the Nyquist plot roughly so that this magnitude is not required right now. So just see how I will draw the polar plot. Now we'll draw the polar plot. This is real, imaginary. Polar plot is drawn on GH plane. This is 0 degree, minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. So when omega is equal to 0, what is the magnitude? At omega is equal to 0, we are having magnitude as infinite and phase as minus 180 degree. So you can see how we can draw minus 180. You can draw like this. It is parallel to this. It is going like this, right? So this is the point at omega is equal to 0 plus, and phase is minus 180 degree. When you keep on increasing the frequency at omega is equal to 1/4, what is the magnitude? Magnitude, let us say that is x, and phase is minus 175 degree. So where do you think this curve will go? Where it can go like this and this also. So it will go in the downwards direction because phase, you can see phase we are getting as minus 175 degree that we have calculated, which is less than minus 180 degrees. So our plot will go, our curve will go downwards when you keep on increasing the frequency. And when you still keep on increasing the frequency, you can see at frequency 1/2√2, our phase is again becoming minus 180 degree. And magnitude is 10.6. So when you keep on increasing the frequency, it will again come back. And this is the point where the magnitude means distance from the origin is 10.6. This is the point we're having 10.6. And phase is again minus 180 degree. When you keep on increasing the frequency, you can see our phase has become minus 200 degree. Minus 200 degree means it will go in upward direction. And when you keep on increasing, when you put omega is equal to infinity, your magnitude has become 0. Magnitude has become 0. That means it is at the origin. And phase is minus 270. Minus 270 degree is this line. So it will be tangential to minus 270 degree line, like this. It will go like this. So this is omega is equal to infinite plus infinite. Have you understood this point, this graph?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now this is the polar plot for positive frequency. We have to draw the mirror image for negative frequency. Mirror image you can draw roughly like this. So it will go from minus infinite to 0 minus. This is omega is equal to 0 minus. This is omega is equal to minus infinity. So we have drawn the polar plot and mirror image of polar plots. Now suppose two parts are still remaining, that is small circle and capital circle. We will come to that. Now why I have calculated this magnitude, that is 10.6, because what is n? N is the net encirclement of the point minus 1 plus j0. Minus 1 plus j0 will lie somewhere here. You can see this is the point where minus 1 plus j0 point will be. So it is having encirclement. Still the Nyquist plot is not completed. I'm just telling you in a very intuitive way why we have to take care of the magnitude, that is 10.6. So we know that minus 1 plus j0 point will lie somewhere here, right? Just a rough sketch I have drawn. Now next part is to draw the capital circle. Capital circle means map the capital circle from the Nyquist contour. I will show you. We have mapped the polar plot and we have drawn the mirror image of polar plot from Nyquist contour. Now we will draw the third part, that is map the third part. And how we will do? We'll put s is equal to this much. And fourth part we will put s is equal to small r. So just pay attention. So our open loop transformation was gs into hs is equal to 4s plus 1 upon s plus 1, 2s plus 1. I think this was our open, just wait. And s square term is also there. So what we have to do? Map the bigger circle, that is s is equal to r e to the power j theta. We have to substitute s is equal to r e to the power j theta, g r e to the power j theta, h r e to the power j theta, 4 r e to the power j theta plus 1 upon 4 square r square, sorry, r square e to the power 2 j theta because of s square term r e to the power j theta plus 1 to r e to the power j theta plus 1. You have to put the limit as well. That means limit capital R tends to infinite, because now take r e to the power j theta common from the numerator. R e to the power j theta, if we take common from the numerator, we will be having 4 plus 1 upon r e to the power j theta. Similarly, from the denominator also take r e to the power j theta common from this term and this term. So therefore, we will be having r to the power 4 e to the power 4 j theta 1 plus 1 upon r e to the power j theta 2 plus 1 upon r e to the power j theta. Now substitute the limit r tends to infinite. When you substitute the limit, this term will become 0. This term will become 0. This term will become 0, because when you substitute the limit r is equal to infinite, these all terms will become 0, and we will be left with and r will cancel out. So we will be having 1 upon r cube, and this e to the will be cancelled out. So we will be having minus 3 j theta. This is the term that we will be having. When you substitute the limit r tends to infinite, magnitude will become 0. Magnitude is 0. That means in GH plane, if magnitude is 0, that will correspond to the point at the origin. That means this is the point at the origin. That means the capital circle in capital semi or bigger semicircle in S plane is simply a dot in the GH plane. Are you understanding this point? The mapping of the bigger semicircle from S plane will be a dot in the GH plane. If I draw the Nyquist contour, so this was our Nyquist contour. If you map, so the mapping of the bigger semicircle will be simply a dot in the GH plane. Now we will map the smaller circle. How we will map? We will substitute the limit. So put S is equal to r e to the power j phi. We will have g r e to the power j phi, h r e to the power j phi equal to 4 r e to the power j phi plus 1 upon r square e to the power 2 j phi r e to the power j phi plus 1 to r e to the power j phi plus 1, and substitute limit small r tends to 0. Small r is 0. Why small r is 0? Because you can see the smaller semicircle is having the radius very close to 0, just to avoid open loop pole at the origin. Now, when you substitute r is equal to 0, so this term will be gone, because this is 0. This term will be gone. So we will be having limit r tends to 0, 1 upon r square e to the power 2 j phi. This term will be 0. This term will be 0. So I'm writing here simply 1. This will be equal to limit r tends to 0, 1 upon r square e to the power minus 2 j phi. So when you substitute now, at this point limit r tends to 0, this will become, magnitude will become infinite. So magnitude of GH will become infinite, and orientation is, you can see, is minus 2 phi. Orientation is minus 2 phi. Earlier, the original orientation in S plane, if you talk about in S plane, see the orientation. This is going from phi is having the orientation from minus pi by 2 to plus pi by 2. In S plane, the orientation is like this. But now, orientation has changed to minus 2 phi. Minus 2 phi. So earlier, it was minus pi by 2 plus 2 pi by 2. But now it is changed to minus 2 phi. So multiply by minus 2 phi inside this orientation. So minus 2 phi, that is multiplied by minus 2. So we will be having minus 2 multiplied by minus pi by 2 to minus 2 multiplied by plus pi by 2. So ultimately we are having orientation that is from plus pi to minus pi. That is the orientation is from plus 180 degree to minus 180 degree, and it will go from minus j0 minus to j0 plus. You can see in the Nyquist contour as well, it is going from j0 minus to j0 plus. So j0 minus is this point in Nyquist contour. If you look closely, j0 minus is this point, and 0 plus frequency is this. And what is the orientation? It is having the magnitude of infinite, and orientation is plus pi by 2 to minus pi by 2. Sorry, plus pi to minus pi, or plus 180 degree to minus 180 degree. Plus 180 degrees where? Plus 180 degree, this is 0 degree, this is plus 90 degree, this is plus 180 degree, this is plus 270 degree. So it will start from omega is equal to 0 minus, because plus pi by 2, and it will cover an infinite radius because magnitude is infinite, and it will end at omega is equal to 0 plus, and direction will be omega 0 minus to omega 0 plus. So this will be the complete Nyquist plot of the given problem. So I will draw again Nyquist plot. So we are having the open loop transfer function GS into HS given by 4s plus 1 upon s square s plus 1 s plus 1. For this, the Nyquist plot that we are getting is, this is our GS plane, 0 degree, minus 90, minus 180, minus 270. Similarly, we are having 0 degree here, 90 degree here, plus 180 degree, minus 270, plus 270. Now it is at omega is equal to 0 plus, it is having minus plus 180 degree and going like this and going downwards, then again going upwards, cutting the minus 180 degree line, and again having the final frequency is this. This is omega is equal to plus j infinite. And mirror image of this will look like this. It will go from j infinite to omega is equal to 0 minus. This is omega is equal to minus infinity. And this point, this point is 10.6 that we have calculated, and it minus 1 plus j0 point will lie somewhere here, and the this bigger semicircle in Nyquist contour is a dot in the GH plane, and big smaller circle is like this. It is going from 0 minus frequency to 0 plus frequency. Now we have drawn this. Now we have to calculate the stability criteria. What is stability criteria? N is equal to E minus Z, where N is net encirclement of point, minus 1 plus J0. Tell me how many encirclement of point minus 1 plus J0 you see? Minus 1 plus J0, how many encirclement you see? One encirclement is here. What is the direction of this encirclement? Can anyone tell? Clockwise. Second encirclement is this. Tell me what is the encirclement? What is the direction?
Clockwise.
Clockwise. Both are having clockwise direction. That means if the orientation is clockwise, we take n as negative. So n will be equal to minus 2 because there are two encirclement and both are clockwise. And P is what? Number of open loop poles in the right hand side. So if we consider the transfer function, open loop transfer function again, we write 4s plus 1 upon s square, s plus 1, 2s plus 1. Now tell me how many poles you see, because this is the open loop transfer function. How many poles you see on the right hand side?
0.
0, correct. If you want to draw the poles location, so I will draw. One pole is at minus 1, one pole is at minus 1 by 2, two poles are at the origin, 1 0 is at minus 1 by 4. Minus 1 by 4 is somewhere here. So this will be the location of poles and zeros. So there are no poles, open loop poles in the right hand side. That means P is equal to, that is open loop P is equal to 0. So if you substitute the value of N and P, we will be getting minus 2 is equal to 0 minus Z. So Z minus Z will be equal to minus 2, or Z will be equal to 2. Here Z is not equal to 2. That means two poles or two closed loop poles are lying on right hand side of S plane. Therefore, the system is unstable. Is it okay? Any doubt?
No, sir.
Okay, so we have seen this. Now what I will do, I will see using Raoult-Hurwitz whether this we have calculated is true or not. So for drawing the Raoult-Hurwitz, what we require characteristic equation. We require characteristic equation. So I will find out the characteristic equation and how you can calculate characteristic equation. Characteristic equation. This is not the part of the solution, right? I'm just solving and checking whether if we solve from the Raoult-Hurwitz, whether we get the same results or not. Because the system is unstable and there are two poles on the right hand side. So I'm just clarifying, or I'm just checking whether this is true or not. So characteristic equation, how we can calculate 1 plus gs into hs is equal to 0. We can substitute the value here. So 1 plus gs into hs is 1s 4s plus 1 upon s square s plus 1 2s plus 1 is equal to 0. Take the LCM, so this will be s square s plus 1 2s plus 1 plus 4s plus 1 is equal to 0. So this is our characteristic equation. Open the bracket. So this is s square 2s square plus s plus 2s plus 1 4s plus 1 is equal to 0. Open the bracket. So this will be 2s to the power 4 plus 2s plus 2s will be 3s. So 3s cube plus s square plus 4s plus 1. This is our characteristic equation. Now we have to draw the Raoult table. What is the maximum power of s you see here? S to the power 4, then s to the power 3. So we will build the Raoult table. Just see. What is the quotient of s to the power 4?
2.
2. Next is 1. Next here is 1. I hope all of you know how to fill the Raoult table. Quotient of s to the power 3 is 3, and this is 4, and this is 0. Now we have to calculate s to the power 2 here. So we will multiply 3 minus 8 upon 3, and 3 into 1 upon, so this will be 1 only. If you solve this, so this we will be getting as minus 5 by 3. Now s to the power 1. So minus 5 by 3 multiplied by 4 minus 3. Let me know if I make any mistake, okay? Minus 5 by 3. Is there any mistake? Let me know if there is any mistake. So minus 20 minus 9 by 3 upon minus 5 by 3. So minus 29 by 3 upon minus 5 by 3. So 3 will cancel minus. So we will be having 29 by 5. 29 by 5. And here we will be having 0. So here we will be having 0. And s to the power 0, 29 by 5 multiplied by 1 divided by 29 by 5, we will be having 1. So see how many sign changes you observe here. This is positive, this is positive, this is negative, this is positive, this is negative, this is positive. How many sign changes you see in the first column? First column is 2, 3, minus 5 by 3, 29 by 5, and 1. So there is no sign change here, no sign change. One sign change, second sign change, and no sign change. So two sign changes are there. That means if there are sign changes in the first column, that means the system is unstable. And if there are two sign changes, that means two poles are on right hand side. So from both Nyquist as well as Raoult-Hurwitz, we have calculated that the system is unstable and exactly two number of poles are lying on the right hand side. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we will stop. This ends the Nyquist stability criteria topic. I have shared some assignments of the other sections. You solve that, whatever the problem is there. And if you face any difficulty, let me know. Apart from that, I have also shared the notes Few of the problems I have not covered. You solve that as well. And if there is any doubt, you let me know. So this covers the Nyquist stability criteria, and only one topic is remaining now, that is Bode plot. So we will be covering that in 2 or 3 lectures, and that will end our syllabus. And so our syllabus will be end by maybe by 16th next week, and I will be taking one quiz. So let us. So I have asked you to tell me the topic for the quiz. Have you decided?